Now, one thing that I took away from DMX's life is that health is important. It's one thing that we all know, but we all take for granted because, well, we're all okay right now. Well, the vast majority of us anyway. Unfortunately, DMX was placed in a situation where he was younger and didn't know any better, and unfortunately, the situation that he was in created a demon that he was battling against for the majority of his life, and that's quite sad. And a lot of us haven't been in that position where we've been tricked into taking the demon of addiction with us during the journey of our lives. Pretty much what I'm saying is, a majority of the time as adults or teenagers, we tend to take up certain addictions in order to keep with the crowd or fit in or whatever the reason may be, you know. Like, I'll say I'm a little bit guilty of that in the sense of my smoking habit, you know. It was something that everyone was doing at the time. And I'll say this, yeah, I still smoke. Out of habit, out of addiction, it is what it is. However, it is something that I do want to knock on the head at some point during my lifetime before it starts to affect my health in a negative way. There was another video as well of Black Rob. He was another rapper as well. He did a song called Whoa. For those who's too young to know the song, definitely go on YouTube and have a look at that. That song was amazing. And I still think it bangs to this day, but that's my opinion. This rapper, Black Rob, was recently filmed paying homage to DMX and the fact that he passed away. He had some words to say. You can find the video on YouTube somewhere, and just type it in or Google, you know, so it won't be hard to find. And he was ill. He was literally in a hospital, and he looked way older than he should. And he looked like he was going through some health complications. He was talking about the fact that he wasn't in the best position financially, and it was quite obvious that he wasn't in the best position health-wise either. That was a brave thing of him to do, and it was very brave of him to allow himself to get filmed in that position so that, you know, people can see sometimes, although trying to be a superstar or being around that lifestyle, which it comes with a lot of vices, may seem all good on the surface, in the long run, if not controlled, if not handled in a responsible manner, it can spell your ruin, which, you know, no one ever realistically wants to be in that position. But it can happen due to decisions and choices made prior. Yeah, the future is the future. You're living in the present, but at some point, the future is going to be the present, and that depends on what you do in the present. Take it how you want to take it, you know? Take it how you want to take it. At the end of the day, I mean, look, in that song, Whoa, which was an absolute banger, you know? Like, listen, he was playing that song crazy over and over again on repeat. In the music video, you know, he was surrounded by beautiful women and throwing money around like Skittles. Just like that, you know? And obviously, a lot of the people in my age range and myself back in the day was like, whoa, like, that would be amazing to be living like that, you know? Then fast forward, the present now, me as a big man in my 30s, looking at him now and thinking about him in his heyday, it's two completely different things. Now that was a slight digression, but the overall point is, look after your health. Like, pay attention to that. I'm not saying become a fitness freak or become a nutritionist to the point where you're measuring every grain of rice that goes into your plate. I'm not saying that at all. Pay attention to what you put into your body. Pay attention to the fact that exercise is important, you know? Like, previously in my interview with Jesse, Analytic Village, you know, he mentions the importance of health. It might be tedious, it might not taste the best, it might not taste like, I don't know, like a birthday cake, or I don't know, something tasty that's not healthy. You know, but at the end of the day, in the future, years down the line, if you maintain that, your health, right, you'll be a lot more comfortable with your health at an older age than being at an older age without your health. Like, obviously, at any point in your lifetime, like, illness can happen, but you can avoid unnecessary health complications. Why wouldn't you? Like, it's easy to get carried away. Everything's all good. I'm alright, I'm healthy right now. I'm gonna eat this, I'm gonna do that. But when you've lost your health and no amount of money in the world can fix it, and you might be the richest guy, the richest girl, and money can't fix it, it won't matter how much money you've got. It just won't. It really won't. So again, it comes back to the same thing. Even within the health space, I know I'm fine now, but is what I'm doing now bring me where I need to be in the future? DMX said a quote, or it's a quote that I believe was said by DMX. If you're influencing people, I think you should consider life is too precious to have them chasing the wrong things. Don't give them jewelry, give them gems. Or don't give them jewelry, give them jewels. Which pretty much is kind of the same thing. But basically, how I interpreted that was, instead of influencing people to chase material things, give them knowledge. Obviously, with knowledge, you can do a lot more than you can do with depreciating assets. Jewels, clothes, cars. You know, over time, these things, they lose value, or you can't get back the same amount or more than what you paid for it, unless you specifically got a material asset which appreciates in value. That's my interpretation of that. So it's a powerful quote. Also, another way to interpret that is, you can have all the wealth in the world, but the real wealth is you. Because at the end of the day, the knowledge that you gain, or the things that you allow yourself to be influenced by, everything's down to you. If you have the knowledge, you can utilize that, and you can develop yourself. So you can take either interpretations, or you know, you can come up with your own interpretation. But at the end of the day, I feel the main takeaway is, you play a very significant factor and role in where you're going to be and how your life turns out. Like, of course, things can happen in life that take us off guard. But at the end of the day, that hasn't got to be the end of your movie. Although it's easier said than done, it does come down again to how you handle things and how you deal with things. Because in the brief description of what I gave of DMX's background and lifestyle, look what he achieved. That's why it's important to work and develop yourself as an individual, you know what resonates with you, know where your line is. Like, know where your line is. Don't just go along with things just for the sake of going along with it, or everyone's doing it, why shouldn't I? Like, like, everyone has a brain, like, might as well use it. Because again, at the end of the day, regardless of the influences, everything else, when you end up in a certain position, you can't blame anybody. You can't say it was him or her or that thing over there or whatever. It will come down to you. That's where now everyone will have to take accountability. So me personally, I would like to take accountability for the fact that I took certain actions or decisions which put me in a positive place. I would love to take accountability for that. But at the same time, anything that I've done wrong or caused or had an effect which put me in a negative place, I would take accountability for it. Like, straight up, I'll take accountability for it. Because at the same time, taking accountability is a very difficult skill to master. Everyone always likes to point the finger, but at the same time, if you choose to work on and develop yourself as an individual, you can't honestly do that without taking accountability for what your situation is or how you got there. I've summarized a lot, obviously, of DMX's lifestyle, accomplishments and background. And I focus on certain things, but I will advise anyone who is interested, definitely go and do your own research and understand more about him. If you were a fan, or if he sounded interested to you and you're too young to actually know about him properly, like, you know, you won't be disappointed if you go and give him a bit of a research. In my opinion, he's certified. I don't know. If you don't like it, that's up to you. Now, it was sad to see him go at such an early age, but at the same time, it was a pleasure to grow up and watch him develop as a person and also an entertainer. And he definitely threw some curveballs out along the way, but yeah, it was definitely interesting watching it all. Hopefully, I get to live a long life as well. But at the same time, hopefully, before my time comes for me to leave this earth, I can actually sit back and say, you know what? If I was to drop down and it was my time, I'll be happy with the life that I've lived. I'll be content. I'll be content in what my works or my lifetime included. Hopefully, I can say that. And I'll take that over a long life any day. I don't want to jinx myself or nothing, but I'm just saying, like, to be able to say such a bold statement and mean it, I'm happy with the way I live my life. I'm happy with what I've done in my life. I'm happy in what I've accomplished in my life. Listen, you'll be in a powerful position to ever say that. So, this isn't a topic that I'll usually cover, but I felt I needed to make some kind of tribute or something to acknowledge the fact that a legend passed away. Like I grew up on this guy, like, you know, so I put this together just to put it out there. So this is still in development. If you feel like leaving a comment, definitely leave a comment, and don't forget, like, share and subscribe. I'll see you again in the next vid.